yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with a continuation of the cabled diamond hat, and we are on round 13. Again, thank you to all of you for joining and watching today. I hope you're doing well, and a big old thank you to Lion Brand for sponsoring this video. Thank you. All right, so for round 13, we're going to hop right in, and in the last round, it was a little bit tricky, but that, I think, was the trickiest round of the whole project, where we had to go underneath our trebles. It's going to be relatively smooth sailing for the rest of the project, relatively speaking. Okay, so first things first, we're going to start by chaining up 2. And this round is going to be one of the easy rounds because we're just going to be doing double crochets all the way around. So after chaining up 2, again, that doesn't count as a double crochet, just gives us the height that we need. So going into each stitch with a double crochet, no big deal. And what you want to, again, be aware of is do not go into these back stitches here, just the front ones. And you won't go wrong if you do. You know, if you go into the back ones, I mean, there is a way of going about it, but I think it's a lot more fuss and muss than is necessary. What you could conceivably do is go in through the front and also through the back as well and finish your double like that. But you end up going through a lot of, see, I'm already getting tangled up here, a lot of stitches. And you know what? It's really not necessary, I don't think. That's just my personal opinion. If that's what you're going for, you could, but it's really not necessary. Just going through the front ones with your double crochets all the way around. You know, it's not like you're going to end up with these giant holes in your project. No, you won't. You know, because down here we have previous pockets, right? Well, it's being blocked by those front posts, and then we have another pocket right here. And again, it's being blocked by these front posts. So yeah, I mean, yes, there is a pocket here, and yes, my finger fits through it nicely, but it's crossing over, so you do not see anything. It looks like solid fabric, so do not fret, okay? So that being said, just continue on around in this fashion with double crochets all the way around, and when you reach the beginning, you would be going into these 4 stitches here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then slip stitch into the top of that first double crochet right there, and that will conclude round 13. And then I'll meet back up with you for the next one. Alrighty. Right, round 14. Okay, so we're doing some more cabling. And again, it's going to be similar to what we did where we're bringing 2 together. So we're going to be bringing these 2 that are semi-buried here, these 2 and these 2 together. All right, so not going to do any chaining up. We're just going to dive right in, yarning over 2. And again, they're kind of buried, but if you sort of scooch them out a little bit with your finger, so going around the post, pull through 2, through 2, through 2. That's 1. Get the next one right here, which is a little bit easier to see, thank goodness. Through 2, and 2, and 2. Okay, then we have to grab these 2 on this side, which are a lot easier. Yarning over twice, going underneath the post, through 2, and 2, and bring them closer together, through 2, yarning over twice, pulling up the the post, through 2 and 2 and 2. Good. Okay, so now we've got them coming back together again. Now, again, we need to skip 4 stitches. So we worked into this one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into this stitch right here. Going to scoot into that one with a single crochet and 3 more for a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then we've got these 2 and these 2, yarning over twice, going around the post. There we are, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, going around the post. Through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, going around these 2. And yeah, if you sort of scooch them together, makes it a bit of a cleaner join. And then around this post, through 2 and 2 and 2. And then again, skipping 4 stitches. This one we worked into. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 into that next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, yarning over twice, scooting around this first post down in here, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, around the next post, through 2, 2, 2, yarning over twice, going around these 2, pick up the post, through 2 and 2, scoot them together, through 2, and so on and so forth for the rest of this round. I just want to finish up this grouping. So skipping 1, 2, 3, 4 into this next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now we have our groupings coming together once again. Very lovely. All right, so keep on keeping on in this same fashion. So you would, after doing your 4 singles, bring these 2 up and these 2 up, skip your 4 stitches, 4 single crochets, bring these 2 up and these 2 up, and so on. And then when you reach the beginning, which is right around here, you know what? I will meet back up with you so that I will, show you the finishing join for round 14. Okay, so I'm going to do my magic off camera and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we're almost done with round 14. Just got to do another coupling. So again, scooting around the first with my treble front post. Boom, boom, boom. Yarning over twice, going around the post. And shaboom. Okay, now I got to grab these 2 over here. Doot, doot, and scoot before you doot. There you go. Yarning over twice. Grab you. Boom and boom. Okay, then, again, skipping that one where we went into. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, and it's kind of snug, kind of tricky to see. Did I even go into the right one? Let me backtrack here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I did. Okay. It's kind of hidden. See, it's right in there. But I am tenacious, if nothing else. So bear with me a second while I get in there. So I kind of stretched the stitch a little bit. And, well, not stretched, the exact opposite of stretched. I cinched it. That is okay. All right, and single crochet, and then, last but not least, do a slip stitch into where we did our first treble. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, so that concludes round 14. Now, to go on to round 15, like we have been doing previously, you would chain up 2 and do double crochets all the way around. 1 double crochet into each stitch. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. That accounts for those trebles. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That accounts for the singles, and then we're back to the trebles again. I find that it's actually a really great way of keeping track of your stitches and the count if you actually do it in 4s. Like a 1, 2, whoop, 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 hello, 3, 4. That accounts for the trebles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That accounts for the singles. And that way, if you just sort of, repeat that 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around, you are sure not to miss any stitches, which can happen. It's happened to me before, and that's why I do the little counting game. It works. All right, so for the rest of round 15, just work your way around with your double crochets, and after doing your 4 here and your 4 here, slip stitch into the top of that first double crochet, and we will proceed. All right, I'll see you then. All right, round 15. Okay, now this is actually, we're getting back to where we started from, because all the way down here where we had our initial crossover, we're going to be duplicating that with this coupling up here. Or if you want to go like directly vertically, it's going to be the exact same thing. So that being said, and this one was a relatively easy crossover, at least in my opinion. So we're going to start, backtrack. In our last round, we did our double crochets. We got our slip stitch right here. We're just going to hop right in to our crossover. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 with the order. So yarning over twice, going around the post, pull through 2, through 2, through 2, yarning over twice, going around the next post, through 2, and 2, and 2. And because of the crossing over, we don't have to go underneath again. Thank goodness for small favors. We're going over the top of these two. So we're going to go around this one and then this one right here. So after yarning over twice, pulling up that post, through 2, through 2, and through 2, yarning over twice, going around the post, through 2 and 2 and 2. And we have the same kind of crossover that we have down here, where the top one is going up and to the left. Okay, so again, what you can do in this case is just see where we attached previously. This is the one right above it, so that is where we're going to start our single crochets. And if you look back, this is where we went into, right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this one is where we initially joined, so it sort of doubles up, but I'll show you again later. So 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. Okay, then we need to do our crossing over of our trebles, so yarning over twice, going around the post, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarning over twice, around the post, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarning over twice, going around this one, then this one, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, pulling up, through 2 and 2 and 2. Okay, so as you can see here, we went into this stitch, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so it'd be into this one, which, see, we went into around that post, so that's the one above it. So again, it's the same stitch. Just that first one is a little bit wonky because that's where we did our slip stitch join from the previous round. So I've got 1 single, 2, 3, and 4. And yes, it is actually starting to look like a hat. Not a wonky pancake, or in this case, waffle, because it's so textured. Okay, yarning over twice, around the post, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, around the post, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, then around these 2, around the post, pull up a loop, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, pulling up a loop, through 2 and 2 and 2. Okay, we went around this post, which is where this stitch is right above, so it's this one right here is where we do our single crochets. 1 and 2, and start that one over. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yarning over twice, go around the post, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, pulling up, through 2 and 2 and 2, yarning over twice, going around these 2. Here's the first one, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarning over twice, through 2 and 2 and 2. Okay, and then one right above, to the left, single crochet 4 singles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so from here continue on all the way around until you reach the beginning over here. And our first stitch was this treble right here, this one right here. So what you would do is you would do your last grouping, 4 single crochets, and then a slip stitch into there, which I'm going to show you just to be thorough. But for the rest of the round, you're on your own. I'm going to do my work off camera. So when I'm about here, I'll meet back up with you. All right. Alrighty, so we're almost done with round 15. I just need to do this one more coupling and my single crochets, and then we'll be good to go. So, yarning over twice, around the post, pull through 2, through 2, through 2, yarning over twice, pulling up the post, through 2, through 2, through 2, yarning over twice, going back to these 2, around the post, through 2, and 2, and 2, yarning over twice, around the post, through 2, and 2, and 2. Okay, then to finish this up, that's the one above, so it's the one to the left. 1, 2, 3, and 4 singles, and then slip stitch into that first treble that we did. Slip stitch right into there, and boom, you are good to go for the next round. That's the end of round 15. So of course, round 16 would be to chain up 2, just as we have been, and doing a double crochet into each and every stitch all the way around for, again, a total of 72 stitches. And that's really all you have to do for round 16, just like every other row previously when we started our cabling. It's very nice to have a bit of a mental break. I'm sure you guys would agree. Okay, so that's what you do for the rest of round 16. You just work your way around with your double crochets in every stitch, and then after you do your 4 here, because you have your 4 front post stitches and then your 4 single crochets, after you do those 4 doubles and those 4 doubles, you would then do a slip stitch into that last or first double crochet to finish up round 16. Alrighty, so I'm going to do the rest of the round off camera, and I will meet back up with you. Alrighty. Alrighty, round 17. Okay, so now at this point, as far as the size of your hat goes, for me, it reaches to just a little past over the tips of my ears, which is good if that's the size you're going for. For me, yes, because at this point, I can now go into the ribbing for the brim of the hat. Now, however, if it's not big enough for you, or if you want a slouchy hat, something a bit more voluminous, you can go about that in the same fashion that we have been doing thus far. Me, personally, I like leaving off here because you have just the one series of diamonds for the body of the hat. So if you want to, yes, you could keep going with this sort of diamond motif if you are inclined. Now, to do that, you would have to follow suit with what we'd already been establishing before. So in order to do that, you would then chain up 1 and do 4 single crochets across, and then you would bring up these and these together just as we had done previously down here. And it would be, the back and forth of 4 single crochets and then 4 of the front post trebles. And of course, you have to skip those back stitches again, etc., etc. You can review the previous footage if you want to keep going in the same fashion. You can. However, I want to finish up my hat at this point. That being said, I'm going to switch over to my smaller sized hook, the size H 5mm hook, and we're going to do some very basic ribbing for the brim. So, that being said, and also, since I did my double crochets previously, that is the perfect setup for doing the 1x1 front and back post double crochet brim, which I've done in a million other projects and hats and things. So to do that, you just chain up 2, again, to build up the height. And see this one right here, that is the chain 2. We're going to go around this post here with a front post double crochet, and then going around the back, around that post with a back post double crochet, and then a front post, and then a back post, just alternating back and forth with a front post and a back post. Back and forth, back and forth. And the reason why I chose a smaller hook is because it gives it a little bit more clarity to the shape. It doesn't taper out quite so much when you reduce the hook size. Just a little bit, it does make a difference. And if you want it to be tighter, you can of course go down to a size G if you're following suit with the hook sizes that I'm using. Really, whatever works best for you. Now, keep in mind that, if it's still too short for you, what you could do is you could do a fairly substantial brim if you are of a mind to do so. It doesn't have to be just this width. For mine, I did 2 rounds of the ribbing for the brim. You can have more than 2. It could be a wide brim. If you don't want to go back into doing this patterning here, you could just have a wide brim for your hat. If you want a narrow brim and you want the hat to be bigger, yes, you could go back and do more work with your cabling. But again, yeah, it would be in the exact same fashion that we had done previously. And of course, you can refer back to the footage and keep going and make your hat even bigger and more voluminous if, again, that is what you choose to do. I do not like dictating what you guys do. All I want to do is sort of give you the wings and say, okay, start flapping. But, I'm not about to control which way you go. Just whatever you do, don't follow the example of Icarus. You might run into a bit of a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of this round off camera, just following suit, front post, back post, front post, back post. Say that 5 times fast. And I will meet back up with you and show you how you can proceed with this ribbing. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm almost done with my first round of ribbing. And just going to scoot around, doing my front and back post until I reach the very end. And I've got one more to go. Yes, one more to go. There we are. Okay, And then, again, this is the chain 2, just as this is the chain 2. Going to slip stitch into the top of the front post, double crochet stitch. There you go. And it's seamless. It's gorgeous. Okay, so then if you want to keep on keeping on and make your brim a bit wider, chain up 2. And basically you're just going to be following suit with what we've been doing. And by doing a front post around the front posts and back post around the back posts. It's just stitch for stitch, not altering anything. And I think that for my hat, I'm going to just finish this round and I will call it quits with this hat after the 2 rounds, because I think that that will be, for me, a sufficient brim. But of course, you know, have fun with it and do as many rounds as you so wish, you know, by all means. And then when you go all the way around and you would do your front post, your back post, and your front post, you would then again slip stitch into the top of that first front post stitch, and you will be done. You know, all you have to do is just cut your yarn, pull out your loop, and stitch in your end. And there you go. The cabled diamond hat. I love it. And in its sort of scrunched up form like this, it doesn't look very becoming, but when you have a head inside of it, it looks much more becoming, I think. Yes. And I'm really quite pleased with this pattern. And no, I don't have a written version of this pattern, I'm afraid. It just came out of my head after much tweaking and finagling and fiddling, and this is the result, and I hope you like it. And if you did, if you liked this tutorial series, please do give a little thumbs up button down below, comment down below, let me know what you think, and thank you so very much for watching. Your support means very much to me, as well as the support of Lion Brand and their sponsoring of this video series. Thank you so very much, Lion Brand. I do very much appreciate the support all this time. Thank you. And to all of you, you know what to do until next time. I want you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now, everybody.